with us, if we possibly see you, Tommy Thingy, when we wuka 7G P, or we think about risk, Tamivadivji var 7G Pingi, Vig, most of us if imagine danger, Pimenjo Bajia Kuker 7J. Pang easier, Eric Shayajan, Dra Gay, failure. J, or embarrassment. Pif, or embarrassment. Pezalem. We think of risk as something. We think of risk as species. You rethink as something. We must stay from willingness. Evasion of from. Because risk something. We must escape them. From with escape from in something we eat RG7G peer. Something we should keep at arm's length. Q-Fent P. A. We should key arms year few. They fluctuate. O. Wukash 7J Ping. So what do we do? Sev of eyes, D Walji. T suv we avoid to Kair Zeven G P E we avoid oid. T Bu Abuka 7J P N we I postpone. Well defunded will measure the tough that are off of there's that pingun. We convince ourselves that at staying where we are where is safer. Pine, where we are is forme. Avere in air is aver vertel we where is internet or 4 hour go hand anime they as maybe effort. Or is it 7G? Being of constant change, a gain. But here's the irony. Out 7 and we've been faulty which till hasado of the sevuf to get you and of Haravine is all tafretier. Always is always 7G and voyes praised your one fias in air the outfit all of how a riffy etcher you avoid or those hallway the iotas ever. In the with nef after over the for eastful valid always you face you vor you face. Bull 7G upon our feel. Avoid is PE. Avoidance feel stunned. Avoidance feels like a shield. Plus ka 7G. P it feels protective. Hakari Arvanav a whole letter Evelyn Hoden be over your head to keep the storm awake, like pulling anything of them light head. Blanket eye over your head, keep the storm away. This is for when and Grathanity term light the storm and wines and thrift. This then nailed after my outlook lays. After the storm aware of you just amply uncover he these 30 and riff away. A Tommy gonna jump in immobile. Very come to stud machine. Ping at a say die. But storms don't wait for permission, but so evo as for a permission. And Chukumba get 7J ping. They come anyway. Pidifad yivtu blonga. Abazanja. Champegu. Kazavanje piront. And the longer we avoid P, the less prepared we are when they arrive. Vikin, the less prepared we are were Kazavan a G, Dzordi. We are within a V. the less prepare when they arrive. As non choosing not to face the future av I ken this. Tampa future doesn't eliminate is a nastu v ke in not to face the future doesn't eliminate the earth. And the is riff we was they she ran the real says if I visit and eliminate the rest. Ponesen mark this how shen jideng it model to kasevenja ping it multiplies it vumis I'll ahemi d because while we what cup a 7g because while we hide pb8 wuka 7j playing while we delay p nuved avanones duv unfunnershi p10 tpl fair a 7g peg the world keeps moving wifting basso sevens n u kazener paynazen and j time doesn't pause opportunity 7g p inga opportunities pass who 7 p challenges grow bigger Sole wargat I call vakin pernkan anlint otam manewo either it's yardu kired will to manor wenge and require little courage now during man's a mountains a mamange man han nernenda mao wundenetset about the blues and I in the mathematan or country no just idea all memory thing that good my girlie and Denson's I was a son avoid a janapa days Pimen think about the Sievendent who avoids a difficult subject. Think about a subject avoids a difficult subject. And with floof every you have tug. And Kirby Howject and you hutch. Atara 2 co 7j p ang Wook R Fernji P A. At first, P's harmleg. Skipping one chapter feels harmless. Skipping one chapter's harmless few day. Quaranda R 7J ping. Then another. Avepegukai 7G P. Then another. 7Jeff P. If and until K7NG P the exam of the exam arrives. Tes weeg as thou of all vors stumble. Lecture parts cray P betithe of all those skit lessengens. Cress. Uave rebel, Luzebzi rain is krizu, as crochet, and a way of all those good leaves on was there and I was where raveth all those kit leshes them. Ovalidins, Viten Sevengen, Dinin, T, P, avoidance didn't keep them safe. Fee on haspavenen. Pin E. It's fet them up for failure. It set them up for failure. B uka a 7J. P ni ori. The same applies to us in our lives. P A. The same apply G to us in our lives. 7Ja pieng. When we avoid ta conversations. P, we avoid conversations on Asian Kuid and AMPVs when and ewa ryujemji when we avoid career moves. Pious, we're with the brishkijans queer agile when we avoid decisions that scare us. We think we're every of the we avoid disease ourselves we avoid deceiving ourselves. Thine of the prepare in both of the are we doing of the whereby of Tassenbubbles. P hastened your eye of a sign in the problem to in the shadows. Now all we do, what I want to ping to is in 9 Marn or LLA, where they example on the pile to them is where they fourth and class and waro, vulnerable charging and the view horror in the light low, and that the added of some build H2 pony, a fill up the do pony, and whoever lane never end of the is. Of Rosario, a chiwishi, each wilson. And review Rethink Pin Mare Edu facing the 7G P future debates you won't stump in each P. And if you futured me given you won't stumble and not in realize it won't stumble of F and all of main watch it feeling me of infeel Sidiver Tendrilio and days. Ein idesentity animaling tem firm pain the from ethno zumi you won't first hoe ni how the an ocam for hole listen to how do the let the no time on the nick the way down there's that no one and orax then an immunity one brother survive our PZJ I made mammal the meums global to mumpy a one Mombakai, some glass, a team, POV, NNP, the line is in Egyptus, rally, and B, and if it was me. It does mean you in the fight. I will turt the A and Wuka 7G P. P, you're learning Tower 7G, ping, adjusting Sevaga M words of A. Wu our 7J. Ping growing stronger with each step. J is the growing stronger with each step. P is avoiding it. Avoiding it wasn't AK7 and JIS is P adive. On the other hand, the 7J Dimrin are at least exactly MD Pora Hor Ivi Ivivis I'm of Cavo de Warbear Niv Asseptly Way Air How and then Paz and Embark Anthony except round beneath you keeps his step is that ground of Bernath a shit Vikramers Veda an round I hate is an empty team to they boot a use my Eric of the P P Sandy. Imagine standing while the tide rolls in. There are sandings. I need to roll hell standing on sand while the tide rolls in. Roll then in the Prasadan Asne Beaten Mur Mana. For intimation and Batiman, Fawajan, and Bedity. Since I wanted you for granted, certain tough you could agree. Sending still doesn't protect you. Wenner Wicca 7 use. Peen, it swallows you. Swallows you. O as I can drew, pan ONG, peepenju, A's a simpenge. There's a simple truth. Here. There's a simple Here, sees the unknown, carries to the non-risk they offer an e. The courage, let's risk that. The comfort compre is just as down not on the even light. The missing of pretending it doesn't exactly choose part difference. The amount of effectiveness and as those who sometimes is every time those who zombie it's a energy is it very now no. This view beat us 7 days to get jar at a future are musing that disappear when we know ideas of that is the from the future goofer when how we open to greedy trinal to get it out of the zone or in manner in a round hours and this else aerus wide goes won't be aware of any inferiority actually really be louder there. Fiend A's, I's and E's. G's, P, Mempb AB Muka 7G. Pine bigger, hard and jaith, and harder to control. P and Buka 7G. P and harder to control. One you Wuka Zanert, Piugata. When you have 7G, with Osamo, pin am. When you meet it head on, Rayoth, even Ziggies. Peven if you trip, or Safars, Pew Bleed, 7JP, you build resilience. Vu Begwika 7s, Deeth, Pew, Mu Kafhaya 7j. P, you gain experience. 7 the full, Pio, Temdo, Vung use. Discover you can do more. You know, new ver mart imajoning. You discover handle more than man 7G. You asking more thalo in your try eating yours is it, the gilaring you down the lagoon. You are more thou, you man. Felt I've Nenad's Fravi or discoveries become your strength is that well that Pfizer every Tuvens deem you to the foreigns. Those discoveries become your strength to the next stress. Alexis and Artev forward. And the Knox and V forward and that where I've right. I give just forward. 7G, P, E. So the question isn't the A's. P, E. Or is the future risky? Fear, and future risky. Of course. Future risky. Of course it is. 7 and G, Weavju, Penguin. The real question is P. The real question is, as a fashion me, the Nerif and G, Pinri, or which risk will you choose using feature? We revolution US jail account. So resay is a PGU. The risk of facing it is says in little beat hall risk of facing is every the wider tougher than a G. Or the far greater risk or a greater risk of avoiding it. The far greater reality. Alls, older Kyles. Luca 7J. Peen. One leads to growth. Were a Q 7J. The other to regret pay always the heavier and Ruka 7G. Pion and isam and vede avdabu is always the burden. Very for your burden. It's always the heavier burden. In us aleph sati, we all crave safety. Pin we all crave safety. I jwonkas pimem ebuka fian 7G. P, it's a natural instinct. And B, it's a natural instinct. Pjauederen 7UZ Veda Salvusen Talikal 7GP Wuka 7G. We hold onto routines. Wees azantais arid 8 bukas 7 G pinch habits. Our samoundi develity fiao onai wika 7G bima fi they familiar surroundings. Because in us is both semi-waves is if a spatability, if a saturated and a deep, yes, as a sense of a stability, there is the probabilities if the YSC of and Iosek Taiju Muka 7 GPD. And in that comfort, of kompetenheten sedemgengen, webs kwingri, a wetsman gridegi. We convince ourselves, but feels that edits a fee, we fee. We convince ourselves that we are secure. Mokho 7Js. Peace eng. But here's the paradox. Pief. Here's the paradox. Yepiniviz is more dangerous. The illusion of safety is often more danger her as adit umti and an ev safe degree in man and the discomfort of risk a may over noja famas a ray of imagine press non-freeze the comfort of now gradient and over and low bliss energy agree. Thetumke was born you avebus weishon per 7 spools. Own you peace. The O fee peeing. The comfort zone feels warm. I kavu and Y. And the Zine Evan G play D. But it quietly eats away the buzz and away our confidence. Ians Wuka 7G Pini are opportunities. We's on ultimately our growth. And A7 Pand ultimately our growth. Almost that ode daikadasanja. Nampa. Think of a bird that never leaves the nest. Think of a bird that never leaves the next. 7G ping from the nest daf havdad and 7JP the world looks wide and frightening and the world looks wide and frightening. Flying looks 7G peen ew. Flying looks terrifying. Died osen ponged. That's an almibo. Kling 7s. G pians. Au evihiv. 7G. The bird clings to the branches. But what happens as tamanju? A deep one cities peace endits. de cheo ponizan zan in this high. Bup amba and mane arsaji. But what happens as time passes? You can be. The nest, 7 jais, P, B. The nesticase, Salas the Jones. Bray, Cur, 7 G. Storms, break, branches, Pledi Iwaro Pale City. Predator, 7J. P, predators, climb, closer. Will eventually become Adas, very place that 7G. E, evensif, det and evensifkle, become Hadizan Bex. A Neferzin city, and I said, Baham Harris, Louisiana, Tennessee, Krigit, that I must have injured muscle his Mercier, I'm a host knowing sank ocean crossing, and they do on the Blaken's house of the Valentine, Verdant, as the Amber's servant, so is you know, the say, at the same whatever. Talikum and Ingenar, all my gen, Buche gas a peg. In the same way, because we believe our comfort when we resist change, but the joy of our comfort, Zoer, what was the covers? Because that's put in those low is per se the text is believe we're comfort, Zobia, justice, example, the actions in one of the resist from the immensity that 70 p.m. we forget that time at that is for the safety, the false safety. For that time heroes, it is that false safety. The job, the combo D to may disappear. P'd, the job you lenti disappeasen, compling to may disappear. The job you cling to may disappear. A B by hin Elishin Kappas. I have a learner mishamas. You know, verbina ma interse is a tapsa. P, voritiv, or relationship view, avoid nature, it is half winning modome or vicious ignodi, elaborate nurturing may fade. Uka 7G, pin days. Wun, the opportunities you delay may never return. You opportunities, you might be alternate the obscenity to a methiner may return. Is an E, another urge, E, and can. Pe, the illusion of Zov, and we use sus, the of, safetas, also limits, safety, so we see the also. So Amazon was clearly say how the of ourselves, how we say ourselves, although always ourselves. Proldem, Wuka Somjide, A, Wuke 7J, P, inside the comfort zone, where we practice stuff, and then we do ka 7G, P, we don't TZ our strength, we don't test our strength, but though obsevelness, peng, we don't discover our ressor. Ponby, why don't disclose plate in a 7G pace, discover our restfulness, where when the Zeppelin monitor like cars, what if we don't realize what capable of handling because we never let ourselves try. Pay there, like a handling reality. Then analysis about I am your trend vela because we don't have to run is and we have is we're complex on that we hang and running what we realize When at with wuka 7 P, and without trying 7G Pates and B. Vuker 7J P. Our confidence weakens. Wingi Kanadai's 70 PE. We are 7G airs of routine. The etu into the routine. Tembi Vuka 7J. Pay ale ironically. Evgazin cheese V's P P7 P. The more we avoid risk. 70 P. The more fragile we become. We zubder is pain 7J on a bivlai. Work of Kanpi, the more fragile we become. Intro Haiu Bratata compare that with someone troubling, who was someone who steps into uncertainty. Now compare that with someone who's some as a one chestam campaign that with something into as with someone uncertainty. I'm gi they mace te may kin te may stuven g pew gi. They we may stumble at first, but with each upheaval ko yanalo san my every apostandichi gu but with it of ace emitia vidi which is e7 chedip thingedi. But with each step they gain knowledge. Tapadasan 7G with each risk. Vaka Zavender is P os. They gain proof that they can survive Ditterfried. Then that it's not conflict or brief. They it's not sure that either way is never pay. They select difficulty for AI proof Billsy as a foundation stronger. It has the another chori any illusions of safety ever key and erithercurdling BA that's a sample as the of the of era and we will be the safety you grew could piadi sumaimdi hoop to start to though bisavagi. Think of people who start small businesses. The thick of people who start small businesses. Wanas Winen Amtra 7 skills. Peen learn new skills. Rover Unmonal Bulgazanti. The 7G. Or move to new cities. Pay or move to new cities. Asam G. P. Ung. Yes. Salanj 7G. Tenda 7G. P. There are challenges. 17G. P. Yes. And if Thachipizis went to a wuti 7G. Ping. They fail sometimes. And Motafan and Zadada Min. Osam Jan. Epsamanerj and Eder Shi. But in those failures, PBA or Eve, they wuka 7P. They build resilience. 7G, nat. That resilience becomes theirs our true safety net. Beyond the not the well illusion was on a tape out. Now the elation was the found how the wires, you visit to How pose illusion of say staying po ask my illusions and the unit. One bit of pay often miss s. Pay. Here's what we often miss. Here's what we often misses. I oft ben we outputter up and so don't protect us from life. Avandavu conference don't protect us from learn as don't protect us from life. Haman IB Ebuka 7J. Pine, life still happens, or is. The unexpected still comes. Paid ung, the unexpected still comes. What avoiding discomfort does as wake a shield us as or the pig I avoiding discomfort us. It just ensured that we less as prepared. The more was the end case parts in the American summer of Ramorn, Raz or it's Connor Lane, one of them I'm upgrading that different of Summit to the is another Disman rural line of now and it has the wolf there like around that and out of Sevi FE7 and we averties. P the absigan. Safety is not the absence of key. Safety is not the absence of risk. Pain is the ability to safety with nonid. Exmas takes the bunsa davananji. Safety is the ability to face rich and pay to should one embrace the Jesus it's an eventuality to face as rich with over AIDS. Timon P Buade Vuker 7G. P with preparation, havteti, potentocteti, passance, max, relate that no matter what happen, 7, piagvets, be ended, believe, no matter what happens, and they do what happened is in Pasamj, Peej, we will adapt. So the next time you feel I's and G's, so the next time a job and you feel yourself calm yourself cliff milieu. And after Masbury is an alien Kaiman as DG Eve of Humminger familiar have turned created in is the familiar as G ping ASCII I a V B is 7GP. Is this really safe? Amanazid. Exportion or is it only woo? K7GJP RPB or is it only comfortable? P it sees Eiffel on D because comfort eventually expires. Splach ig because comfort eventually typically expires. E a friendship expires. Yes, because pin G D 7G are G P growth. Ayev mo tater a 7ja. Pin E on the other hand. Gwynablik korgasamja pigs. Compounds. Dalvin kanare P on or zevenet. In that growth lies the only real security when the lune funnel theos lies the will left we ever have security will ever have Eri enter the we go where I village where we then and dams will do over the most thing is the part of life most of us try regardy to life of most any hatest to avoid the audit to out of irate and mostly of you pulling that see do is weer the panimudi dafmar we like knowing what's coming next. We like knowing what's coming next. Cutting like ars clotratumbide in the biza prabid kambam UK7J P we like the predicting outcomes P vers Wukai 7J P controlling the variables Ping and punt 7G P the AM variable is we like controlling the variables at pipe it is the zheng bampegi but here's the peony but here's the truth bump of played only pavlered amu will come salai of her 7G uncertainty isn't just inevitable pani may otherwise henti he of equity uncertain inevitable salves anshanar if engube fis is in G P it's essential a mukala 7G phi enemy we 7G peed when we face the unknown when we open our but Charles in the vast the saddest P ein hun won harje bounty although she pins enough to ASA certain could the inner passy has oasing is an hypocrisy Nancy's then answered and for honest and as important and we wrote her on the small the open ourselves in PMG avoiding wuke feel safe avoiding uncertainty might feel safe uncertainty is a P the latter might feel safe pray but it robs us of the varied having just help as guru it rubs very experiences the helpless agree as the very another steps that was ergic owing as grizz because of lazy raz the brathis of eras grow wishni paris bean think of a child Weis a bicycle. Think of child in learning to. Nvutias Kyle finding to ride a bicycle. Hanopi. Pausa as PA. Peeing at Fergies. Piggy. At first, Tamjef. Ovade and Abes, Porjan a balance. View uncertainty of balance of G, paverwamming. For example, he is over of frenens, a balance field around me. If balance of frying out of and of vinting, or I shall then event to do, the lime is rose. Ivan ends wrong. Picker 7G. Peen, the child wobbles. Aravezi Nubians, Nandai, Wukar, 7J, PR, Falls, Pandas, and Wansa. us is 70 peen and wants to quit shaking bags. But it's precisely through those shaky. But it's precisely through those shaky. But it's precisely through those say. Beyond. Be uncertain, both uncertain moments that confidence is borments. Muffet, utten moments at confidence is born. Zem oant becomes bekomes. Jorn matchen versten warrior shall do. Become steady di ane om the bay bazity hopathing doa imagine tinning rhyme notes being didn't adapt edited than tench on the thus stand is not didn't our FA otherwise that's daddy the right in their head be their mom spending yearly number one to improve the right here in their head. Arn and Indians. They learn by stepping in the unknown. They learn by stepping into the unknown. When learned by stepping in the unknown. Pila dawerstigin. Where a shoeing dud. Pinga G. Dukaspigen by risking the fall. D ak uns well ukapa 7G peen and once the balance is found, coned. And once the balance is found, abdakau 7 jati P the child carries a that gay that 7 jeer the child carries it. Charlotte carries that skill forever. The kepreditio jam zir to dos it shays pizza thruddy at kartambi. That's what uncertainty does. He shapes us into strongo par. It checks us on stronger and when like the bazeli vas the Aussie ho Herfilianas as they have us snurgy. Weaker sevens of ourselves, Wazer, 7G. Pay what is 7G, pay where's our G, wizards on RAJ. And with versions of ourselves. I ended O 7G. P in our careers, S same 7G, Keze G, Pieg, the same principle applies. Pamosen, we have a race. 2, Zevity, Tizatamochade, Panagas G, Pedo, PB, but to pursue as a Purdue. The promotion we are afraid to pursue out of 7s, peeing the new skill we're hesitant to learn. The new skill we're hesitant to learn causes Evan to learn a mudra tank, the mudis, where we're unsure about entering. These are the moments that feel risky because the outcome as I did as a counterparent seals. President Bavarian potatoes and aren't that Zombam P3 orange tiso Benimozai works a lot in LFs for Berlin the Angry Solid military and leave the sheer winter bombers. Ours peeing. But the discomfort of trying eyeing teaches more than the yes urge of how we teaches more of how we is of Haiti ever to of than a fat carve down in Calafer. The could I embroidered against your different billion thing during like Mir. Why in BU we might fail the first time. P fail the first time, or 7G ping yes our VZ P 7G, but failure under uncertainty is still a knowledge. Uncertainties, but failure under uncertainties. Hugh under uncertainty is still knowledge. Doesn't worker review der pew. It tells of Talmasian Avigena in Pauluzamine. It tells us what doesn't work. Pedidrin date. Vukas a 70s way. It shows Huffenge. P ungi. It shows us where to adjust. A field evat lider. Aber ems ekoa and lotionus sepens. Becomes zone pig, and those lessons becomes a stepping of us. That's the nature of success. Introduction time is word medicine. In rust, it's on it. Air, what are for because we are there. Usually all for the old dollars, and there were in bull of those on 7G. PNB Uka 70, avoiding uncertainty. On the other hand, ping ING. On the other hand, 7G ping egg teaches us nothing. Ping ongi, it leaves us exactly where we started. BA eat leaves us is exactly where we started. Piembes quals. WK 7G ping we unchanged and untested. Like standing at the edge of a river. It's like standing at the edge of a river. It's like standing at the edge of a river. Et have height, say a river. Clidian tearing at the water venue. Severin. Ping. Staring at the water. Tu eis Weiberg at tap ambe isn't zik. Amning to Jeff Thieves. As they malgin tal of Vishinger her fragile bell. Over the cells that as may imagine the swim is as the same diving in is or as them I'm a cam as Dio algae filling up the my view question everybody involves a very avoid testings every in the end. Amanuka 7G ping the truth is ada chobi our interview of origin June revealing the current once your Elysia you man you can am only hard or impertinent if you can only learn to the what day you are inside it even one just in the audibility that it depends better with the rate current once or emphasize once you've swum out quite chief some it summit IV pay mid and is best P8 and once you've swum it 7G 70 two models the spavern the fuse hard of year wouldn't vini early as deva at orangins of she of Rodian clearly using newly next river won't feel man the renewals as word as frightening is as frightening. Certainty also hitting gift. Pening one uncertainty. All certainty also who has a hidden gift. My oldide, it reveals our resilience. Pig, it reveals our resilience. Yet covers 7J, we did not it up. It just that people of verse. We had a little strength we didn't know. We discovers 3. We fear know that they're the that you discussed in front of me. We didn't know. We had com 7 fee. We diff P creativity. We didn't think we possessed. Do create creativity. We think if we possessed well origins. Aves 7th G ohm. Denwan sounds at PNT hendage. Pete and endurance. We underestimated. Wheel the pados unala some GP. We learn not so G8. Halapadi 70Z. Spirit is and not just about the world. The Depaya is. The 7 G Peen. But about ourselves. That self. Knowledge is priceless, sevens. Else, it can't be handed pricelessly. It can't tiny in Ted. They had handed to us at self-knowledge you be to have you to we put off to nothing of they've tired estin only be e or jabi that is no almost a 7G. Rammer the zoo amapathe evenashins. He can only be a million of picture. There's where neither. I'll pick a moment in moments. The Venaka Almer isn't came as communicating a plate. The outcome isn't clear. You unmeaning vision of the oil maker. You want to work here. A 7 Locante or is it variant? Isn't Witter was in the question. If man of thought and buses, can't TM even how best it orbital. Patent was what about that 13 up in car, right? Our player's question. He's in non-reducible and now Peter and equal of bitter read. It's this version of what you didn't go part of the ever no muffin or having about the home in about and our fast or we are the fate of Moon 8 Oka 7J. Paying an E it is. Avisen vi wo mezen the question jasmine. Du gorne vis oasha. Ave question is way willy. Even we you know stand worldly. As for what truth in you was the niven when the environment steam over these where were it's only when I said as that but on high is not the way. And they what a stiver I go and come in open to Bella and everything. So what we were in the Ev pen better sense ima bijura every uncertainty because every ante the arrows in every return moment carries a guarantee Aries a guarantee guarantee beviad vikmodkar for or pen even if the outcome in Upasamjan isn't what we hope for. If for my outcome if isn't what we hope for the ante form our vilfer, you know, then. Awades pins avpasa zankadi. a scavenger. We walk away stronger. Poorer. Siu. Ebska 7J. P. Braver. Get more prepared for the next challenge. PV. And more prepare forward for the next challenge. And more prepared for us. And later, necessary and more. And not the next challenge. Wanakan Davanjays. That's a lesson. Fetni. Pun e. They say Tampere evasi us. That's a nova of us. Spiritual lesson certainty could never give us. It will they give us. Engi. When people think about a Wuka 7 Jage, when people think about courage, thumping or up in Kabbalah CD, Kes, Ipeverer, Clay 70s. I guess often the picture something Germany, they often 70, the version, Pigashir, G Mati. So the entity at that. Lee, I live Kalipif, a leap off a 7G, a leap off a cliff, few a bold, re 7J. P, a bold resignation letter on our car, Tajano, Fab life, X7P bike, a life-changing decision made in an instant. Changing decision made in an instant. Binspin. And in Pater Bithieka 7J, but Desanj Peri. But the truth is, Avenji P. Agi. Courage rarely looks that way. Courage rarely looks that way. Anazaj Arajas Pingji real curry Gizdredge is less about grand gestures and more about mod about I'm all. I'm all. A few times was. Would Moy, sick people, water Gi, Kinsters and Caps. Gi Garris, fee consistent teas taken in the direction. If he in very consistent steps. Taking the dressy of your lineage on there, the edge out of the here. It's not the giant leap that shapes, it's the daily act of if putting one foot, if the is AOFL, or is Israel, and even when the ground fills forward, a ground fills is round and uncertain. When Rizgrods is a foreign third, and you brother what rule the rallies and where he's whaley. Munjan, we love the stories of people who made it overnight, but when we overnight better we of the lighty pay buckfin veal lie layers sales both them hold buckle the lately the as were often a feeling of I have another offer if you were of the layers Lopaya we see years of small risks of vase that Bill Ratwizio and Tarlt. Doge, we see Zeravismon, Romekas, or in this is out. All certain high in moments the foreign and hinging Onesimus die Moments aus die vorning moment dat TZQ more years corrupt yes ouders of define mijn moments. The beter curror stijler de verdicator voor mes would doc at the brises they must chipes or minotaurus downs who publishes a best firthis a ripen in writing drafts that nobody read drafts that nobody read Jerry's the red who publicus on rest Taurus assault that new red the entrepreneur who hold can play that Fay Humdies articles this command a company first test tested their small idea just fail quote is it her tail as the trade Lowy they found the invest quit they were dower at least quit or in quarters night will city clear is and with the rub I'll assign this were the with a weed lunge the leader who inspires others to wins front of people while speaking in front of the 5 Hillingdon 5 and of 5 people while really a series of steps. What we admire as a leap highs, we admire was really a series of steps that most people need able. If you move theory or success that most much then message is not all and nothing more no is rainable narrows or when we out by yes. Twang tanis popularity de prone. The challenge is that small steps don't and always feel a role. I challenged fees the role and hallow or use heroic event gold in that minute and my finilar and is all in handful of you scooter. Penalgent, Pibdies and Abhams are Saturday E, 7 and G, Pete, they feel ordinary, 7G, P, even in invisible, Itia 7G, P in, Wuke 7G, applying for one job, Fumni cult, 7H, P, making Westendage, making one phone call, practicing one, practice 7 U, skill 4 or 20 minutes, practicing 1 news, Ev, that's what at Horsen and look like minis. It doesn't look like much of Europe. It look like much. Either needs Tang Tata Verdier Liquid 7 P on G. But the truth is, Amos Beetle Ayo until co-senel seckles. Pinan Archenknower TI Airy Apiobi Bev equals already 7G and it's an axe compound over time. 7G fine ring how they build momentum P Wuka 7G. They TU 7T P. They teach us discipline. En hoigreding wite we don't noti zieles tredi. Our frenels of esteres hindum anobes. Wages don't alphabis hals. in ways we don't notice until saben ärgerhets awiles. We didn't hope this. Dat van de buurt dat we in andere weeseel. Right, has als die onthoofd area there, and if there ain't literally there's no shit and the pure boy kai 7G P we realize work I'd say P and realize how far we've come. Harji ever the peng. Avoidance thrive on the belief, thrives on the beliefs and each belief they believe for the generators in it and then variety and a vein even of run. As our truly kind of find as Varati do it on you to begin in the thine noise the thine like thrice on the lead say ne u K7G ping we tell ourselves how nomus corvbo howls bima Judas might has of the corrid rare to do something big but that day rarely comes and Hinravo Ham says one day rarely comes I reserve to then day rarely comes other fuel savage Gia P.I. waiting for the perfect leap keep subsus stuck for the perfect leap keeps us stuck beating Zaid instead of some and pindatum das wiusamunch Ga instead PNE courage comes from the smalling A. Kai's courage comes from the small act of showing up. Courage of fernaf doth further breaking the throat and of showing up. Zemo second words ably s aches us we handle K7J. Each small risk teaches as we can as handle more. Small risk teaches we can teach so handle more. Step builds trusted be used ourselves. Pigs and with ourselves peed. Each step builds 10 builds trust us with ourselves. Usil is this. At seventh, that trust eventually give the doveness ace the 7G pinda, and that trust eventually gives us the strength for her bigger moves was in they R has 7G peed think of climb meant a mountain B you mean a mountain hang NP work a 7G think a climbing a mountain Bejamj P no one's the P B no one reaches the top by jumping. Ein or plambiza one I am hanata esmap time do ben. Sedim's wine G wet heat. The climb is one step at a time. Is 7 Gen P. Sometimes the path is steep. P. Sometimes the path is steep, Varanagam, sometimes E, Muka 7G. With end of P, sometimes it levels out. Mem Ebuka 7G, P, N. Sometimes we slip. Savio or ikamas pin, but each step Iker 7G, P ungers. However, small whippers 7G, P, Pin E, brings us higher. Koshaman with each step, Ping, and with each step, with a trata 70, Gui, P in G, the view changes. We had before. The view changes. We see more than we did before over we did before that. We see more than we before. We believe more vak. Cover, verven put a 7. We believe more than we before. We believe melage we kazan. And we leave more than we did before. I'd have the piet power of small dits. Ping, that is the quiet power of steps, the power of small steps. Theo. What's half is anonj? Hoort en muziat P. Olkav there 7G. So don't wait for ein beef. A P the gen B. Don't wait for the giant leap. Our 7GPU Kenches, they start with the step you go and the step you can take to today's. I hold the start with the fizz of error. Start of this you can't today. When a Wivias Hanins, law pamid up A8 Wuka 7 day. Send the message. 7G, P, Umgi, learn the skill, Sirashin G. Ping, E, ask the question shin. Virai channel larang, Blenugin, Fif, Horamalo, D, the small X, Bainok X, Mainalo, Etimanchin, Ugi, and the Ramid. These mon after the limit, but Moran talentedly to procreate. As we read it for the moment, and Nabas are in the moment. Settings, Piano Babakar Sanjay, Ping, but over time, Auzi, very foundations, P, they become the Veldi foundation of AAs. Become the very foundation of courage. It's Sadie. It become the courage itself. Koka 7G, Pingi, and one day, X Fip1D, a C. Buka 7GP, P when you look back, Italed A's Talajhalts P's and Engi, you'll realize, thus Moya Zapsva or Lilias, Inaru, Bilze, where you be now repen, is the elf or where they're at war re an order where I are now those now are at a Viter. You're relaying or reload forward, you will realize those mauled airlines are now for a because Zevenjis play he. We often think of Riskier as something dangerous when rees, often of has as something dangerous. He of us and that on chorus of the man of years that think of risk as something. peak something to avoid all cost tolls. Few death, fate, symbol is the people they terror in someday, something to avoid at all costs. So because 7G, like standing on risk, feels like standing on a thin ledge, feels like standing on a thin ledge. Ik kan now tad would uncertainty, or ping, looking down at of you how uverov deet and t, ping, looking down at uncertainty. I've read a book as 7th P use, and deciding to step back to safety, and deciding to take, to step back to safety. Even that has the Z, nubble PBX, the poser Chevralia, feels safe to dia, reparadal, what feels the findable lands. The different well, come and you tende of an oath degree and command. Roughly of the private rotations, rethink is frestas of mine, beagle nangmer to em work her model ish. As a man Friday that Anthony the ills pref to be work and all ends of degree. Pertus 7 or Pigiar, we are conditioned to believe that avoiding risk us, of avoiding risk protects us, plus widening risk protects us. Only maybe Vespas full visually and ours Chafanos P eat yet in reality 7Chi and avoiding irricants quergenet P avoided quarter future can quietly erode our future, handled our future. Akazendi, the very act of choosing not to wool, end of a prize. Doctor is Venut. Our journalism and end up from causing the ticid and hold of medicine one other than nader. They causing us more than the actor costing until water the rapist and as a is with a review the fine Larry is the mind the energy the Essenpite about how quickly the world changes. I think about how quickly the world changes in bed. If he is think about how quickly the world changes. 7J, P&E, technology. 7-inch, Ping Industries, and he's a fair and pan and even social norms evolve at a pace we can bang metal and a couple a keep lip and price he's in Vaughn he was up with even social north of with Aller sem I update of Dals Pierre. Gilles of a secure hore, Vap Sapier may, the jobs that feel secure today may disappear in a decade. Feels the pool and is that the and the very something else is only in Easter and G make us valuable. A mess not a wall the skills that make a valuable now may be outdated to unnecessarily love to made it a tomorrow you know
mijn toen als in golven toen wij die you very well
if you first Kylie and like Cordes, we avoid nurturing front arcad as a fear horror. Milov duldummer as of prelevi. The poor pi the prenude learned great orbis bit at the masplay dot thirdly to the us from beat they us tightly by net new seeds. Yes, or I only need. What seem writ, same G, peng. What seems risky, kang. What seems risky, changing careers, learning somethingly, learning something. G, P, do, learning something new. Drudy, Becknukidamado are Kuzdro, Senzi goes page, made the expressing how we Church of Mata may actually be the safest thing we can ask. It actually seized of all other they visited the merit the safest feel to fail we is a Martin Club Zujits. We are pinchive unzo. East a moving world because standing still equality because standings there's still rap using the word held isn't hifty because on the ground if the word isn't safety is 3 IR 7G P E its decline MPBA Wuka 7G Pinda. The problem is we can 7G words pinals if in G's. With the confuse risk A P, we confuse risk with failure. We think risk means sing zemj. P. We think risk losing something. We think risk means 7G losing something as 7J's. P. G. But in truth, 7G P. Risk is simply the fit the drownge peen. Risk is simply the cost of growth. Everyone nakar possum hedgy. P. Pelagy re. Every achievement you admire came from someone you who admire as Ted someone who embraced it raised to Manalo for someone really Kwan by farmer risk plantings wang seeds with of the Molmren falk for applying me knowing camp the season without knowing risks plenty but no roy fins a favorite panda to the accolades those have really in the end of I'm what I I'm a riff the 7 anniversary hey the film it's called to I'm 9 this is an unity we feel overgrown in sense of risks years of trial and error without knowing if the world were without a null of the world can knowing of our not if the world without you'll care about the final prinal pawn and probably what they out of the you've raised what I want to know is welcome whereas use out there crow and get one opening out of here 7G peen and arierans Riskier, their love into children without any guarantee. And Ellen's after out of how those children will turn out geos or tatt ontaalt use every I was halt van die er na voltooi maar zijn alweer alweer en hij is a road naar toernooi I can't and I will never all this. Whereas Moonen Pusky Fars Wesipligi. Risk is woven into every meaning party as in Simon in their life. You wouldn't mean to every meaningful of life, part of end of the efful part of life. When of her silence of her Zeven and G. P ye. Avoidance, however, so men dumming Goodelits call seven and vey. Hame kai it too. Only it's a cost less visible. Only its cost is less visible. Only its cost less too. Only its cost is Schwedba. Savoidas in G. In ye. The cost of Aka 7G. Avoidance. There's a cost of avoidance is regret. Found because a harsh moment. Sa question of would it ham. It's a dull eight of all. Knowing you had a chance to tro. It's the main to the end in a few narrow. Never a rajatode. How had a chance to try that went into an out of Regini in writing at the close and a write of not for one of Florida was then in year and you want to be in 90 of you close it if you as military. Sujaf air Zavon G pain. And the cruel tree is pain. The cruel truth is banner I pass E Uka 7J P Nubdev I7 7J Peony regret compounds over time. Marriages remains pedestalides. What looks like a small choice today, staying silent in a small choice. Zij zijn they something's to Zavit. In measure of the meter, but for us, lights of morning a meeting by one house is fantastic, and the man as if in a meeting, that's when from the dine as every as of Ozen in a meeting. Passing up pity, Fatuin and Jas. Why to Wuka, a 7G, Putty E, passing up an opportunity. Vin B Pajariu, postponing a dream grows into misiteses that cannot years of exist chances that cannot be reclaimed. Gross different light of the multiple Jew back the first beauty became that after purity. I am unably client. Elver Miza Yugiza these Jews. We've had I 7GG or a the that is for Erensky, Riskier, and then any far rings here, and a decision me give her. You might item mix you I pie the 5 space and you my fells make a 7G. Maybe risk isn't out danger at all. So maybe risk isn't about danger all. So on Divianan, you rate has no or 7J PU. Maybe risk is pay. Maybe risk it is to live fully. Would be risk is about. Is it to living to lie fully in enten piwin, the outcome is sensenten even when's outcome is uncertain, when the outcome is uncertain. And dummen petit oved sen really a safety, FN and we avoid, and risk we avoid isn't really safety, is safety. It's stagnation, and is word avoid, it's really safety. And we avoid isn't really stagnation. It isn't really danger, and the we embrace isn't really danger. The risk we embrace isn't really a danger. It's possibility is for some. It's possibility of the is a possibility is the probability to why for the Sabers I always what causes zonan foi PNG when we redefine risk agenda way. Peen when we redefine risk this way. Are timbara bedite shriba taivo the K7GA we begin to see for that the real gamble album we know entire the word on the gamble. If a stepping environment I can take some forward albums it's art real on the door is a weather handle is of how you step forward very full you the real gamble is in standing G still chettle. The real gamble is in standing still. The real gamble is in standing still.